threat of disaster is never pleasant.
Welcome to the Casual Preppers podcast.
These safety measures are essential.
The only place for prepping, survival, and entertainment.
This will be your source of survival instructions and information. Every member of the family must be coached in the business of survival.
Here are your hosts, Cam and Kobe.
I feel bad laughing before we're turning to talk about a horrible disaster.
It is, yeah. We're not laughing at the tsunami, I promise.
No, we're not. It was something else.
I made a bad joke right before we started.
Yeah. Bad but good.
Bad but good.
But yeah, listen, welcome back to our surviving disasters past. We like to talk about terrible stuff.
We're about to
for
ruin
you guys
your
to
day.
learn.
We're going to ruin your day.
Yeah. So this one was also in December. I didn't realize that. Last week's was in December too.
Wow.
The thing is, I remember this one very well.
Remember that December?
This is December 26, 2004.
Day after Christmas.
Yeah. I don't know what I was doing. But anyway, right home.
Playing the Sega Genesis.
I'm sure.
2004.
A massive undersea earthquake off the coast of Sumatra. Seems like I said that weird.
You said it perfect.
Sumatra unleashed one of the deadliest tsunamis in recorded history. Towering waves raced across the Indian Ocean, striking 14 countries and leaving devastation in their wake.
Wow.
I mean, I literally remember this was kind of early. I feel like email was kind of still developing because I remember getting pictures and watching them like load slowly. And one of them was like this panoramic of all these bodies floating in the ocean. I was like, holy crap, is this real?
Bad deal.
And nobody knew how to Photoshop very well then, so I knew it was real.
Had to be.
But yeah, today we're going to talk about that because like the both coasts have a risk of this, obviously. I mean, every time I go to like California or Oregon, I'm always like, this is going to be the time that earthquake's going to rip through the ocean and drown us all.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reason we do this helps us to be more aware, prepared better for tsunamis, and understand early warning systems. It's just a different way for us to look back at horrible disasters and how we can prepare better in the future.
You're right, Kim. You know what else?
I hope it helps.
Else is right is BattleBox, because it is the monthly subscription box full of solid gear for adventure seekers, survivalists, outdoor enthusiasts, and casual preppers. Each month, BattleBox sends you the coolest selection of handpicked outdoor survival and everyday carry gear, all valued at far more than what you'd normally pay. You never know what's in the next box, but here's a sampling of what users received this month: the Rockagator Hydrix Series 40-liter waterproof backpack and the Battle Bolt fixed blade knife. And if you want a backpack in a tsunami, get a waterproof one.
That's the best one.
All this badassness starts at just $34.99 per month. They've shipped over 1 million boxes, and they won Best Subscription Box of 2020. Our listeners can get 15% off when you sign up at survive.battlebox.com/casualpreppers. You get your first battle box, and then you get 15% off, but you have to go to survive.battlebox.com/casualpreppers.
Just go get one.
Go get one. So, Cam, let's go back in time. December 26, 2004. I'm a newlywed. I'd been married a couple of months.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the honeymoon phase is still there, right?
I was in college.
You were in college, yes. 7:58 local time, a.m. A massive 9.1 to 9.3 undersea earthquake struck off the northern Sumatra in Indonesia, rupturing a 900-mile section of the Sunda Megathrust Fault. That's a cool name.
Megathrust.
Babe, I'm about to show you the Megathrust. Watch out. Okay.
Send a wave up through everything.
We tsunami right to your face. I read in some places that it was the third largest earthquake ever recorded.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's insane. 9.3? That's bonkers, dude.
Yeah.
The seafloor heaved upward by several meters in seconds, displacing billions of tons of water and unleashing the Indian Ocean tsunami.
Ooh.
No bueno. Waves radiated outward in all directions at 500 to 600 miles per hour across the open ocean. You imagine being a ship out there?
500 to 600 miles per hour?
That's
Holy crap.
That's like the fastest an airplane.
Yeah.
That's insane. The first waves reached Sumatra within 15 minutes, towering 30 to 100 feet high. 100 feet high. That is very high. Sri Lanka, India, and Thailand were devastated within hours. By the 7-hour mark, waves struck East Africa, killing people more than 3,000 miles away.
Holy crap.
What an insane thing. Can you imagine if this earthquake would have hit somewhere too? I mean, obviously it could have devastated just as bad as this tsunami did.
Yeah.
Like if it would have been, somewhere in the middle of India.
I know.
Bhopal. Who knows what would have happened.
It'll leak out gas again.
I know. Fishing villages were erased, boats splintered and thrown far inland, resorts and hotels collapsed mid-holiday, with tourists swept from beaches and swimming pools. Like, you got to remember, this is the day after Christmas. There were so many tourists in this area, in these areas, because, it was nice beaches and stuff. Bridges, ports, and roads were ripped apart, isolating entire regions from outside help. Families were torn apart in seconds, children pulled from parents' arms. Many were crushed by debris, concrete, cars, entire houses carried inland like battering rams. And if you've seen the footage of this, like, it's true. It is
like,
oh my gosh,
unearthly. Like, it just seems super
doesn't
CGI.
seem real. Yeah, it doesn't seem real. In Thailand, tourists filmed the strange sea recession, unaware that they were seconds from death. You can actually go on YouTube and see some tourists, like, they're on the beach and they're just like showing, like, just goofing off, right? And then they're like, "Where's the water going?" Because all the water just
that's
starts
super
to recede.
weird. I've seen videos of that. Then I just like, that's a big sign that something bad's happening.
Yeah, if you see that, beware.
And there was
right?
a movie called The Impossible. I believe that's what it's called. Yeah,
I don't know. I didn't
The
see
Impossible. It's terrible.
Is it?
No, the movie's great.
Yeah.
Done really well. Acting's superb, but it is depressing, man. You're just like, I can't believe anybody went through this.
Ugh.
So if you want to watch that because you're dark and
Yeah.
sad.
Dark and sad. I mean, if you're listening to this, I mean, you're there.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
In Banda Aceh, I don't know, in Indonesia,
Sounds great.
Whole neighborhoods were leveled. Survivors described the city as if bombed flat. The waves didn't stop at one surge. Multiple tsunamis, hours apart, caught survivors returning to search for loved ones. So if the first one wasn't bad enough, the second one got everybody else.
Man, there isn't much worse.
No. Hospitals overflowed instantly with the injured, broken bones, deep lacerations, salt water in the lungs, and infections from contaminated debris. Many medical facilities had themselves been flooded or destroyed, leaving doctors to operate outdoors or in partially collapsed buildings. Imagine it's like doing some sort of operation.
Debris and salt water. You know what? Salt water keeps rushing over.
Yeah,
I'm trying to cut its
give
belly
me that
open.
scalpel. Supplies vanished, IV fluids, antibiotics, bandages, even clean water. Patients laid on floors, porches, or in the dirt awaiting treatment. With morgues overwhelmed, some hospitals stacked bodies in hallways or refrigerated trucks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no thank you. You imagine what you put next to the Red Bull in the truck as a dead person? I don't know. If I'm
I
going
don't
to
think
die,
you care too much.
it's not horrible, I guess.
It's better than like.
Red Bull gives you wings. Now you're an angel. Flying to heaven.
Exactly right.
Right. I think that's not good to
Yeah.
say, but I did it anyways. Medical staff collapsed from exhaustion. Volunteers with no training were pressed into service to clean wounds or comfort children.
You're not the best to talk about past disasters.
No, we're not. In isolated villages, survivors had to tend to wounds with salt water, rags, or nothing.
More salt water.
Until aid arrived days later. Can you imagine? My cut hurts. Pour some salt water on it.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
I've already been in salt water for like 5 hours.
We're late. We live in salt water.
Yeah.
It's not good. I'm still floating. By morning, entire coastlines were unrecognizable. Streets scrubbed bare, landmarks erased, towns wiped from maps.
Crazy.
Bodies were tangled in fishing nets, lodged in trees, or washed miles inland. That's
the scariest thing.
the
to me.
worst
It's
thing
like
I can imagine seeing.
getting stuck in some
Yeah.
net.
Yeah, can you imagine being like walking through this devastation and there's just like dead bodies
hanging
everywhere?
Yeah.
Mass graves and funeral pyres became necessary to prevent disease. Many families had to bury loved ones without rites. Parents wandered destroyed villages, clutching photos, searching for missing children. Many never found them.
Ugh, that's the point. Yeah.
Nope. Children left orphaned roamed in shock, sitting alone among ruins until aid groups gathered them. I mean, you
It's
have
one of
to
those
think,
disasters that you'd hate that you survived if your
know.
family's gone and
If
you
you-
never found
yeah.
them again.
This is go jump into the ocean. I don't want to live. Survivors described the silence afterwards. No birds, no animals, only crying.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. With roads gone, aid was delayed for days. Communities lived on coconuts, rainwater, or salvaged food pulled from the wreckage. Disease outbreaks loom. Stagnant water, rotting bodies, and lack of sanitation threaten cholera and dysentery. In Banda Aceh, Indonesia, oh no, I'm saying that wrong.
It sounds great.
Over
Doing a great job.
160,000 people died in a single province. 160,000 people. That's
Like 4 of our towns?
yeah, for sure.
Jeez Louise.
Foreign tourist deaths spread global shock. Holiday makers from Sweden, Germany, Australia, and the U.S. were among the victims. So, at the end, nearly 227,000 people were dead or missing.
Unbelievable.
227,000 people. That's
From a natural disaster. It's
bonkers
just
in like
crazy.
one day. It was the deadliest tsunami in modern history and one of the most lethal natural disasters ever recorded. I mean, which one would be more lethal? I don't even know. That's insane. The catastrophe triggered the largest humanitarian aid response the world had ever seen. Billions pledged, tens of thousands deployed to rebuild. And I remember that humanitarian response. It was like on TV constantly for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like wasn't this right after Katrina? Didn't this happen really soon?
Seems like they were close together.
I can't remember when
Just did
Katrina
it.
was,
Can't
or it was
remember either.
before Katrina. I don't remember. But it also revealed a deadly weakness. The Indian Ocean had no tsunami warning system,
Oh my gosh.
even though the Pacific had relied on one for decades.
God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, pretty crazy, man.
That is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, some survival lessons.
Mm-hmm.
So, first, I'd like, tell you about some of the things that could have been better that would have helped save more lives. Governments around the Indian Ocean didn't fund or prioritize tsunami detection, like you were just saying. I didn't know that. That's terrible. Like, obviously risky. I mean, your whole resort is at zero sea level.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like crazy. And the Pacific had a warning system, but the Indian Ocean did not. So no alarms were issued. No buildings, no building and early warning. Oh, sorry.
Not
building an early warning network proved very fatal.
Yep.
Weak building codes. These structures are just thrown up quickly to house all the guests, tourists. I mean, money drives a lot of bad decisions. In Aceh, is that what you were saying?
I think that's how I said it. I don't know.
Aceh?
Aceh.
Aceh. And parts of Thailand, wooden and lightweight buildings collapsed easily, just washed away.
Yeah.
And then many communities and resorts were built very close to the shoreline. I mean, that's the best part, right? That's why you travel there. Mangroves and natural barriers that could have absorbed waves were cleared for development.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would have probably just tumbled over them, but it would have slowed the progress and give more people time to escape. Government prioritized development over tourism and tourism over natural protection.
Yep.
So what they do, local authorities didn't conduct evacuation drills or public education campaigns about tsunamis. There were so many tourists too that it was just like you would expect. We know better because we're preppers.
Yeah.
But you go to these these locations, you would think they would have a really good idea of what natural disasters are there and protect people, but nope, they didn't.
And a lot of places do. You go to like Tornado Alley, and there's like something like they know what to do.
Exactly.
Like I was in Nebraska once.
Oh yeah,
where
you
there was
saw one,
tornado, and they were like, "You got to do this." They were like telling us what to do. We're like, "Oh, okay." I'm glad they were there to tell us. But here,
no one here knew what to do.
Nothing.
No one prepared for it. No one knew what to do. So, making it even more of a mess. Countries in the Indian Ocean region hadn't agreed on cross-border disaster response protocols. So when the tsunami struck, relief was delayed because no joint system existed. There's just so many problems here. Popular tourists, like I was saying, visited, and they only went off from what was already there, signs, and they didn't have any plan. They didn't know that there was a risk, so that made it even worse. So here are some of the decisions that people made that did save their lives that you can learn from. People who noticed the sudden retreat of the sea, like you're saying, the classic tsunami warning, ran to high ground, and they're the ones that survived. Many accounts tell of children who instinctively ran to higher ground. Later, leading parents or neighbors teaching youth to act decisively proved as critical as any adult's decision. Kids were taught. They understood. That's a huge thing for everybody to do. These practice drills and understanding what risks are in the area you're in. Strong hotels, schools, and resorts collapsed, sweeping those into the debris fields. People who chose to move, run, climb, swim inland outlasted those who relied on walls and roofs.
Yeah.
I mean, if you couldn't get away, obviously the best thing is try and find one of the best looking built buildings and get as high as you can. In Japan, you saw that too. Like that tsunami, people that got up high just watched it and filmed it. So seeking high ground is obviously important, and it saved lives. The other thing, in some villages, local leaders organized rapid evacuations or shouted warnings. Some understood this, and this shows the need to trust and act on local knowledge. Like, you need to understand that people typically in those areas have been through something similar.
Man, it's funny.
In most places.
When we talk about the seeking high ground thing, I always go back to Deep Impact when he's on his motorcycle and they're just driving up the mountain like with the water. Right? Coming up behind him.
It is on there.
That's what I always think about.
It's a good one. It's exactly what you should think.
It's a great one.
Fishermen and others at sea during the tsunami sometimes survived because the waves were less destructive offshore. You know, they just kind of rode the waves. So go fishing when the tsunami hits.
Yeah.
One of those rare events where you're being out in the ocean is actually safer than being near it. Communities that organized immediate rescues, shared resources, and pulled people from debris improved survival rates. So it's like the local help and communities like tightly knit or working together obviously helps a ton. So we always talk about that as we're like somewhat lone wolf families, or we only work towards, you know, it's like me and Kobe have a plan between our families, but it's good to understand like what your local community can do and where to seek.
I mean, we
more
say
attention.
that, but I think in the end, like,
We'd absolutely use our communities.
Yeah, you're going to, right?
Yeah. In cut-off villages, survivors ate coconuts and bananas and anything that they could salvage. So some primitive survival skills obviously helped people. But yeah, those are some things that to consider to see what did help and what didn't help.
Yeah, that's great. You know what else is great? Element. Because if you didn't know, electrolyte deficiency or imbalances can cause headaches, cramps, fatigue, and weakness. And as people want to be prepared and ready for anything, the last thing you need is something that will slow you down when you need to be ready the most. That's why we at Casual Preppers have teamed up with Element. It is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with everything you need and nothing that you don't. We think Element is perfect for bug-out bags and EDC kits because it contains science-backed electrolyte ratio, 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. Casual Preppers listeners can get a free Element sample pack of the most popular drink flavors when you make any purchase through our exclusive Casual Preppers link. And you got to go to our link, though. That is drinkelement.com/Casual Preppers. You got to get your order, and you're going to get your free sample pack. That's drinklmnt.com/Casual Preppers. Check out their carbonated drinks now. Oh my gosh, I love them. The lemonade is so delicious. It's soda. Delicious, Cam, right?
Clever.
So let's go to the modern prepper takeaway for this. Understand and know your danger zones. I mean, if you live near the coast, you need to know this. Exactly. You need
Kenny Loggins knows the danger zone.
He definitely does. Check maps for tsunami hazard zones and official evacuation routes. If you live near the coast, you 100% need to know this.
Seriously.
This should be, I mean, in anytime even you're, like Cam talked about when he goes to the coast.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I do.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, there's never been a huge tsunami and just like this in this area, hardly ever in history. So it was like people are like, meh. You have to think if there's a body of water that's the ocean with waves, you have to expect that could happen anywhere.
Exactly. So don't assume you're going to have time for like last minute directions. You know, the roads are going to be jammed or destroyed and all that stuff. You need to know which way you're going. You need to know the official evacuation routes. Visit higher ground ahead of time so you know exactly where to go when the seconds can.
Place like this.
This ground is high.
Kids, this is where we want to come.
This is right here.
But it isn't a bad idea.
I know. It's like really not. It sounds stupid.
The tallest place to get to that's closest to us. Go there.
Go there. If you spend time at the beach, know the nearest high spot before you even set your towel down. You know, just stand at the top of the trail looking down at the beach and go, okay, where are we going to go?
Yeah.
It literally takes 15 seconds.
Yeah.
You can see, okay, that's where we're going to go.
Buzzkill on all of our
for sure.
Vacations. Where are you going to go?
Yeah.
This happened.
I don't know.
Kids don't like that.
No, they don't. A bug out bag is useless if it slows you down in these scenarios.
Yeah.
It needs to be light
Unless
enough.
It's a 40-liter waterproof bag from Battle Box.
That's right. Build one light enough that you can sprint uphill if you need to. I mean, I don't think I could without a bag, but
Yeah.
is what it is. You're going to have water, your first aid, your flashlight, your portable charger, and your whistle. All those things are going to be very important, but you don't need to get into the crazy stuff here, especially when you're in like a tsunami zone, right? Ditch the non-essentials. Speed is survival in a tsunami.
Yeah.
Wearable items like waist packs or small hydration packs beat bulky backpacks. Your hands stay free to help children
BBB.
climb obstacles. BBB.
Beat bulky backpack.
Beat bulky backpacks. BBBP.
BBBP.
Yeah. Strong. So think about training your family in the natural warning signs here. We talked about a few of those, but like if there's a strong earthquake near the shore, what do we need to think about? The water might come soon, right? That's just how those tsunamis work. If the ocean is suddenly receding and you can see the seafloor like where you normally don't, a wave is coming back soon. So you need to understand that. These are natural warning signs that you can teach your kids very simply. If you hear a roaring sound like a freight train, but there's no freight trains near, that could be a tsunami inbound. Kids especially should know, don't wait for an adult to confirm. Just run uphill. Just go, right? If you see any of those things, just go. You can rehearse those escape drills as a family. You can, just like Cam said. Yeah. Practicing one really makes the real thing less confusing when adrenaline takes over. We talked about this. Question those safe buildings. Tsunamis, this tsunami washed away huge concrete hotels and it just took over steel bridges and cars and whole villages. Don't count on four walls to protect you. Movement to higher ground really is your defense. And if you have vertical evacuation structures that some of these tsunami zones build, know where they're at. I don't know if you've seen these, but they kind of just look like big, like watchtowers almost.
Yeah, they almost look like an oil rig, like out in the ocean.
Exactly. Those are great. If you know where those are, go to those. That should be your go-to. And then you need to prepare for isolation because a lot of times after a tsunami, your community is cut off for days. You know, roads are gone, airports are flooded, your power lines are snapped. So have food and water, medical supplies that can last several days. I mean, this is not new stuff. We talk about this all the time.
Right.
Assume the communications are going to fail. You're going to have radios and whistles and prearranged family rally points because cell phones probably aren't going to work here. Probably not.
Probably not.
And then you can consider stashing small waterproof containers with stuff you need, like your ID and emergency cash and medication. Those things that are very, very important for every day.
Yeah.
Very good to have those. And then the last thing is think globally, act locally. I think they said that in Biodome, didn't they?
I don't remember.
Even if you're not in like the Pacific Ring of Fire, tsunami risk exists anywhere there are subduction zones or volcanic activity.
Yeah.
Which is like the entire damn world, right? I think.
I know.
Like coastal preppers in the Caribbean, the Mediterranean, or the U.S. should
basically
know,
by the ocean. I'm just going to worry about one.
If you're by the ocean, think about it, right? So just consider all of those things. Very important.
Yeah, they are.
Cam.
And so some of this that I have just to wrap things up is very similar to what Kobe talked about. So anytime a tsunami strikes, near the coast, move immediately. Like if no alarm sounds, treat shaking ground as a trigger. Like just expect some kind of disaster following. Either it's aftershocks or it's a tsunami coming. So, stay clear of the first wave. Initial surges are rarely the last. Secondary waves can be larger. In this case, I think it was the worst, right? That second one that came in got further inland. Many who returned to search for loved ones got caught up in the second strikes.
The problem is like if I'm there, I'm going in to try and find my kids. If my kids are gone,
absolutely,
or my wife,
I would too.
Like it
I'm
doesn't
not going
matter.
to just wait.
No,
I hope the wave washes them closer to me.
I'm just going to put my arms out and try and catch them.
Throw a net out. See what I can catch.
I found a fishing net. I'm going to get my kids.
Yeah. So,
but you're not going to say, "Oh, I'm not going back in" because there could be a second wave.
Right. But expect there's going to be a second wave. So prepare for that. Maybe pull a boat behind you as you're looking for your family.
Arm floaties on or something as you run in.
And roads may be buried in debris, bridges swept away, vehicles stalled. So you need to understand the multiple. You need to have multiple plans of escaping if this happens.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe and I have mentioned this multiple times, like when we're on vacation, to just kind of like understand where you're at, what the disaster could be, and how you would get out. I do it all the time. It takes 5 seconds for me to just kind of keep my head on a swivel, right?
Yeah, well, it's like you're at the hotel.
Situational awareness.
Yeah, the hotel you're staying at, as you're going into the hotel, just kind of pay attention to the things around you. If you're getting on a cruise ship, understand what's there. If you're at a beach resort, it's like it takes 10 seconds.
Yep.
And then just kind of be thinking about it the whole time. Like, oh, yeah, this is this thing over here. Oh, they got this over here.
Yeah.
I can think about that. And, if stuff goes haywire.
Yeah. If you're at church and a vehicle comes crashing through.
Exactly.
It's like, you got to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. And then beyond the waves, survivors often face saltwater-soaked wounds, broken bones, contaminated wells, food shortages. So first aid kits, training, and skills will be very helpful here.
Gosh.
That's why we talk about developing those prepper skills, because you might have to use ones that you never thought you would.
Yeah.
Community response matters. Those who shouted warnings, carried injured, understood what was going to happen. Like locals typically recognize those kinds of things better. Again, this was a weird zone that this had never happened, so I don't think there was a lot of warning that way. But I mean, anybody that understands a tsunami knows that one wave's not the end.
Right.
And if I saw the sea retracting, I knew something probably bad is happening.
Exactly.
And then tsunami zones suffer deep trauma, children left alone, families missing, silence across towns. Prepare mentally for that shock. And that's the hard thing to really to be able to develop those skills of not being overwhelmed mentally and just in shock and disorientation.
Man, a lot of the longer we do this, the more we research. It's like the mental aspects of survival and preparedness are like 75% of it. It's like it's such a big piece of it.
It is.
Because if you can keep your head together, if you can keep your thoughts together, you can think straight, you're going to be okay most of the time, right?
And I say that like a lot of people go on vacations because they feel mentally drained or depressed. And you got to understand that you're putting yourself at a higher risk if you're not in a good mental state going on those trips.
Jeez, I know. Yeah, that's the hard part. Yeah.
Which is hard. And then floodwaters often carry fuel leaks, snakes, sharp debris, sharks. And just like poop and all kinds of nasty crap. Like it's not just like wading through muddy, water. It's rubble. It's fish nets. It's like you've got to understand you can't just cross what looks like a flooded parking lot. It probably has bodies and everything else in it.
Snakes. I don't want snakes.
I don't want snakes either. And then, unlike many disasters, tsunamis don't stay local. Waves can travel thousands of miles. So.
Yeah, let's say
give your family a call. It's in a different
2,000 or 3,000 miles away. It killed people.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's bonkers, dude.
It is.
Yeah, so that is the Indian Ocean tsunami.
Some of the main takeaways would just be like understand where you're traveling to, or where you live, what the disasters are, what the signs are.
Yeah,
and you'll be a lot better off.
So creepy.
Today's podcast is brought to you by TacPack, though. The only tactical subscription box with useful professional grade stuff inside. Use our code Casual Preppers and get a free $70 machine made part from Next Level Armament.
Do it. Just do it.
Get a free part, man.
Just do it.
If you just want the free part.
Yeah. I mean, if you love EDC stuff, if you love guns,
get it.
You're dumb if you
get it.
Anyways, that is the Indian Ocean tsunami of 2004.
Yeah.
I'm glad we could brighten your day with this little nugget.
Remember the horrible disaster that took place.
Anyways, thanks you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks you. Please make sure to check out our other podcast. This is called, what's it called? Raised by VHS.
Raised by VHS.
Anyways, thanks guys. Stay survived.